So I don't know if this video will do well at all, but I find it interesting, so I thought we would check it out, and that is Splitgate 2. So we know what happened with Splitgate 2. Essentially, they released into beta, and then they went into full launch, and then they released Battle Royale, and the player numbers dropped by 90%. And then they took the game back to beta, and they said, like, we're taking the game down, essentially. And now they're trying to re-release it in a way that kind of Battlefield Labs is doing, where they're testing out a bunch of new things and things like that. So they put out a new build of the game this week, and they made some really big changes. And I just wanted to go through a video, someone by the name of Machiavelli, and he talks about, like, what is really changed within this. So, there's some things I do know, some things I don't yet. Some of them are very strange, and some of them I think are just straight up wrong, but you'll see what I mean as we go through.
We're going to be going over an entire loadout breakdown. They've changed a lot in Splitgate 2. They've done now is every single gadget and every single perk and weapon are available to everybody. So you can mix.
So in other words, there are no classes.
And match. There are no more faction ultimate abilities like the Sabrask Shield, the Meridian Scan, and the Arrow's Speed.
So this is the new create a class. It looks better. I will say it does look way cleaner. So you have your primary weapon, your secondary, your attachments on each, and then your 3 perks, and then your gear.
They just removed it all from the game.
No
now,
ultimates whatsoever, which I do think is a mistake.
You can pick pretty much any combination, which allows for some very interesting combos. The Sabrask SMG, for one, you can use this with arrows perks now. So you can use Slide, Speedy Slayer, stuff that you used to only be able to run on arrows for mobility, but now you can run it on Sabrask, as well as running a time dome. So you can run the Meridian Time Dome to speed up your Sabrask SMG, which already ramps up, right? So the combination together with these two and rapid fire all together.
So basically what he's saying is that there is more diversity in the class builds, where certain pieces of equipment you couldn't use with certain weapons before, now you can. Basically everything is fair game, but they got rid of like the ultimate abilities, which I think is very dumb. I think you kind of need something like that.
This is
whether that be a score streak or an ultimate
combo
or ability
that was never possible before that you can do now, right? So you can see here that
so yeah, here's the new menu where you can go through the 6 different pieces of gear.
All of the equipment are available, so you can run anything from any faction from before. None of the factions exist in that same way. The perks have 3 perk slots, so we have 3 different individual perk slots, and all of these have every single perk that was in the game before from all 3 factions. So you can run whatever combination you want to run. This actually makes for some really interesting combos. I can show you here, like Sabrask Shotgun. You guys know that this...
I just want to be clear. This is not something that is enough to bring people back to the game. It just isn't. So that's what we're looking for. What are the things that'll bring people back to the game?
Goliath swap that was really strong with the 2. Now you can run the arrows quick draw and swap fast really quickly. Before you couldn't do that, obviously, because this is an arrows perk. Running this with the 2 makes it feel pretty similar. That being said, they have made the time to kill 20% slower. So...
What? Okay. If you're a Halo fan, that's good. I think one of the biggest problems with Splitgate is a large skill gap. And games with a large skill gap, it is hard to get new players in. Raising the time to kill will make the game better for someone like me, or probably someone like you who's watching this video. But for the average player, it's going to make it worse. And by 20% is quite a bit. Basically 1 to 2 extra bullets per kill. That's a problem. I don't think that's a good decision to draw more players in. I could be wrong. You can disagree with me. Feel free. I don't think that's a good thing.
You can't really kill people as quickly as before, regardless of these changes.
I don't know. I could be wrong there. I like that, but a lot of people won't.
So you're able to run a Meridian equipment with arrows perks and Sabrask weapons, which is really interesting, I think. And actually, they changed every weapon to where the visual recoil, the weird screen shake that we used to have, is completely out of the game now. They removed that. So the guns feel way...
So that's what Modern Warfare 2 did, and then Modern Warfare 3 removed. Rumors are Modern Warfare 4 currently has that in the game. It's this visual shake when you shoot weapons. They removed that. That's a good one.
Better, you can actually use this gun without the grip and run laser on M&K, and it still feels perfectly fine, which is nice. So running that, you can run quick draw and quick swap to the Goliath, even with an arrows.
Also, these are new
AR.
maps, aren't they?
Something insane we were talking about as well earlier. Something really good. Punch pistol with the heavy punch. This is a Sabrask perk with an arrows weapon. You can use this combo and insta kill, which is like it's
one
just
hit
very
kills.
strong in general. So the new game is taking a step away from the factions, the ultimate abilities.
So I don't think a longer time to kill or no ultimate abilities are good. In fact, I think they should, because they need the game to be fun. I think if you make the game more competitive, which is what they're doing, no one's going to play it. So in turn, you need to make the game more fun. How do you make the game more fun? You have things like ultimate abilities, or what Call of Duty does, score streaks. And I'm not saying it needs score streaks, but just something like that that gives you like the, oh, if I play next game, what if I get this kill streak? How is that going to feel? Or what if I use this ultimate? Is that going to make me better? This game is now completely based off of your gun skill and portal skills.
And now you're able to pick whatever playstyle that you want based on the weapons, the perks, and the equipment that you're trying to run. So we pretty much have access to everything now. That's the main change.
I like the new class. I like the no
maps
visual
as
recoil.
well have been changed. The playlists have also been changed. You can pick the exact mode that you want now compared to before.
Better,
so
you can
a lot
choose
of
the exact
really
mode.
cool positive changes, I think, that are taking a step back towards what Splitgate 1 was about. The spirit of Splitgate.
So if you don't know, you couldn't pick the actual mode that you used to play. There was like a playlist, a bundled playlist with different modes in it, and you couldn't pick the exact mode.
And not as much of a focus on the faction. So the big thing here is obviously playing around your portals now got buffed. Just inherently based on the fact that there's no more Sabrask wall, no more abilities to play around outside of just the
no more
portaling
wall
system. So I think it's going to be an interesting change. We're going to see what happens.
Bad change.
Splitgate is officially back in a beta, like a beta phase, but they're doing playtests like this, testing.
So yeah, so it's in beta phase, but so it's Battlefield Labs.
A bunch of different stuff to see what works, what doesn't work. So if you guys play the playtests, make sure you guys leave your input in the Discord.
You should do that.
And other than that, yeah, the game feels good. I like it. Overall, I'm enjoying it. I think that me personally, I like it, even though I think that it's going to be a little bit more sweaty now compared to before.
Which is a bad move. He's wrong. Like, he's right, but he's also wrong. I don't think that's a good thing.
What's going on, Mike? How do the appearances come into play if loadouts are combined? So
good question.
As you can see here, you can actually play any character. So you have access to all of the skins. So you can pick the skins that you want, right?
Okay, so it's just
also
now
look at all these skins that are in the game, that some of which we haven't seen. Like some of these, look how cool these are. So you can pick whichever one you want now, right? These are a lot of these are unreleased, or either unreleased or I just haven't seen them.
There's also variants. If you look at the variants,
you guys get the idea. You can pick any type of character. You can edit your charms, obviously. Still, you can pick anything that you want. When it comes to the player cards and stuff, they still got the badges. Top 100 badge. You guys still see it. It's still there. I don't know why it looks all blue, but yeah, it looks like they still got the badges, chat. They still got the badges, and they still have our top 100 badges in here. But yeah, chat, I think they needed to do something, right? And I think that
this isn't
the fact that they're open to doing this extreme of a variation to their original plan says a lot about them.
Well, how on earth would anything that they're doing
extreme measures to try to make sure the game is exactly what the world wants?
How on earth would this get more players?
It's just like Splitgate 1 armor skins, except you have more weapons to choose from. I just hope they don't remove BR. I know people don't like that mode, but I think it's fun. I think a lot of people will swear by that mode, man. I think the BR is really good.
I think you can have the BR there. You don't need to remove the BR. Maybe they do as a publicity thing, but I don't think you need to remove it.
I don't think they'll ever remove that from the game. The BR is here to stay, from what I know. They're also going to expand on the BR, from what I know as well.
I mean, I think it's an easy thing to do. You just make new regions.
All right, guys. So I got to play a couple games of the playtest before I got off.
So this is a new map,
and I actually enjoyed it a lot. The game itself is playing a lot more similarly
Jesus
to
Christ,
Splitgate
this
1.
looks sweaty as hell.
removing the factions overall is going to make the game and the playstyle revolve
another
a
new
lot
map?
more around the portaling, which is nice, and I
don't
enjoy
think that's
it
a good
personally,
thing.
but I don't know how that's going to cater towards the general player base.
Yeah, he's
considering
right.
The skill ceiling is definitely going to be way higher that way.
Even looking at the time to kill
That
now.
being said, I also do like that every single perk and weapon is now unlocked.
Yeah, that's
regardless,
good.
So you can mix and match whatever you want, which is going to make balancing the game in general and the flow of the game in competitive and casual games a lot better, I think.
It could.
So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out once they release it. But I'm pretty hopeful. I enjoyed playing the game with these changes. I think there were a few
So is that it?
might have been a little
is the
bit
rest just him
overtuned,
playing the
but
game?
obviously that's going to change over time. But I personally just like it. I like the changes. I like being able to play anything that I want with whatever attachments I want and not have to worry about the factions. I think as a balance change,
Does he get into
it's
anything
going to
else?
make it to where it's going to make Portal stronger in the sense that you're going to be able.
Okay, he's just saying the same thing over and over again.
The question's going to be if this is going to be appealing to the masses.
Okay, I'm gonna mute him. Actually, we're just gonna let the gameplay play in the background. I think this is horrible. If I'm just gonna be like completely blunt and honest here, I think the class change is great. I think the less visual recoil is great, and I think putting more emphasis on Portal and gameplay is not what this game needs. I think the gunplay and weapons felt okay before, aside from that extra visual shake. I think adding in so you can choose which game mode you can play. I know that sounds insane that's even like no shit. People want to pick what game mode that they want, but like the big emphasis that I have here is adding a longer time to kill. And maybe they're just testing this. But adding a longer time to kill, making a larger skill gap, and putting more emphasis on Portal play is exactly what got them into the place that they're in. Having a high skill gap does not bring in new players. And you can have a skill gap, and it's good to have a skill gap, but you need to watch it. Now, the fun factor is the actual thing that needs to be improved in this game. I don't want to say like the dopamine hit, because I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about the challenges or anything like that, which, yes, we're not tracking properly before. What I'm actually talking about is the ultimate abilities were added in fun, and they removed that, and it wasn't replaced by anything. And I'm not saying the game needs score streaks whatsoever, but there needs to be something that makes you feel rewarded for doing well. And X Defiant didn't have that. Call of Duty has streaks. Battlefield, the Battlefield is just a different game altogether. It makes you feel rewarded for doing cool things in game. That's the best way I can explain Battlefield. This game, like, I don't feel good when I do good. I feel sweaty. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? I might not be making sense. And the point is nothing that they've done to this game is going to bring in new players. And that's the problem that they actually have. And I don't know how they do that. They're going to need more marketing. Which I think they've already blown their $100 million budget. No, you didn't hear that wrong. And I don't think any of these changes that they have made are going to bring in new players. And that's their actual problem. And maybe I'm being overly blunt, but like at the point that they're at, that you need to be. You really need to be. Because you got to be clear about this isn't going to fix your problems. It's not going to fix your problems.